of January 2002, there was a knock on my door. I opened the door, and there was a group of people, all ununiformed, all unidentified, stormed in. One of them put a gun straight to my head and threw me onto the ground. They put my hands behind my back, and they shackled my hands to my legs and put a hood over my head and picked me up physically and carried me into the back of this vehicle. Now, my wife and my children were in the house at this time, and the last thing that I saw before they put the hood and covered my head for the next 3 years, as it were, metaphorically, was them walking into the room where my wife and children were. And when they'd taken me into the vehicle, I was lying in the prone position. They lifted the hood over my head, and there were two men sitting in the front. Now, these two men were not Pakistanis, but they tried to dress very badly, I have to say, as Pakistanis, and they weren't fooling anyone. And they said, you can either answer our questions here, meaning inside Pakistan, or you can answer them in Guantanamo Bay. Now, by this time, the images of these men in orange jumpsuits had shocked the world. So it was January by now, and the first prisoners had been taken there. And so they knew that they were going to frighten me by saying this. People had seen those images of these men with face masks and ear muffs and blacked out goggles, looking like extraterrestrial beings. So I didn't believe that this was happening. I really didn't believe. I didn't know what I'd done to these people. I really genuinely didn't know. What have I done to you guys that you're doing this to me for? And so they took me off to the secret location. It was held by I was held by the Pakistanis, but it was all under the auspices of the United States intelligence, CIA, FBI. And after 3 weeks of being held in this place, where I have to say I got it better than other people, because I saw other people being tortured, very, very badly tortured by the Pakistanis. They sent me off to the airport. They took me to this airport where I was handed over to US military personnel. And this US military soldiers, as it were, started to tell me that you're now in the hands of the United States of America, and you will be okay. And that was the biggest lie I'd ever been told.
Thank you, brother.
One reason is that I signed a confession. When I was in Bagram, when they made me believe that my wife was being tortured, they said, you either sign this or you're going to more of this is going to happen. So I signed something. I didn't even know what it was. I just signed it. I said, okay, whatever you want me to do, I'll do. So I think they wanted to use me as some kind of case, which would be easy because I'm an English speaker. Two is because I saw these deaths, and I warned them that I will let everybody know. And three, I was an English speaker, and I think they were worried that I would be able to influence other prisoners by things that I hear and so forth. I think all those three different reasons kept me in solitary confinement for most of the time. I was put into general population afterwards, but for most of the time I was in solitary.
I want to talk about your time in Guantanamo, but before we jump into that,